my loves. Thank you so much for continuing to watch my story. This one I'm going to do another rewind video. And for this one, I do want to explain a little things here at the beginning. So, it's very interesting because I feel like Spirit always told me from the very beginning, no timelines. Like I was like, no, I'm going to bang it out and get it done in 3 months, 4 months max. And Spirit was like, no timelines. And things kept falling apart. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to get this done in a year. And Spirit said, no timelines. And I just, after a year, things keep happening, things in my life I have to take care of. I'm just, I'm not able to get things done. And, this time I feel like saying, okay, I'll be done in a year, but I also feel like Spirit's going to say, no timelines. So I want to get done with telling my story. I don't think anybody is that interested in my story. I feel this calling on my heart that I want to help people. I want to use the knowledge that I've gained through my crazy life and through healing myself. I want to tell you guys about the healed part whenever I'm just now getting to a lot of the stuff that I needed to heal, why I needed to heal. But it's just, I wanted y'all to know that I'm not perfect. I have lived a crazy life. I just wanted y'all to know where I'm coming from. And I also felt strongly that, my heart desires to do this for some reason. My inner child loves doing this kind of stuff. And I was like, my mind always held my inner child back and told her no, that it doesn't make logical sense. Nobody's going to want to watch us. Nobody cares. But, through my healing work, I've learned to listen to my inner child more. And here I am, I'm doing it. And I don't know. It's not perfect. It is what it is. And I'm learning that to get where I want to go for you guys, to get to where I'm creating content that helps you guys in your ascension journey, helps you in your healing journey, to get there, I need to allow myself no timelines, and I need to allow myself to heal on my own time. I do know that there are some people that have already got readings for me, and I've helped transform lives already, and I'm just a baby, guys, and they're like, you should be big, and they think I should be, out of love, they think I should be charging more and everything, but they don't understand that this is a journey and it's a process, and I'm just now learning that. I'm just now beginning to understand that. So I'm just going to allow this to take its time. I'm finally feeling like no timelines. I love you guys. I'm so grateful for the viewers that I have now, because I'm not creating content necessarily for my viewers yet. I'm creating content to show you guys the end of my healing journey that got me to be able to create content for you. That's where I'm leading up to with this story. So, with all that being said, crazy intro for today, but I don't know, I felt that it was needed, so I'm just going with my heart, you guys. I'm not going with my logical mind with the Mystic Hillbilly channel. It's my heart. It's my heart creation. So it is what it is. That's a saying that I love. I don't know, my heart, she's like, let's just say it is what it is. I think it's because my heart just wants to move on, and my logical mind is like, we need to analyze it over and over and over, So, alright. My story, and I do want to rewind just a little bit when my second daughter was born. I don't think that I told you guys, but because she was born in false labor, I was so angry at the hospital. I don't know why. Looking back, I'm like, I don't know why. I know that they say you look back and you don't remember the pain of it all. I do remember the only part that was painful was the drive there and back every single time. That was painful. The cracks in the road. And it was the cracks in the road that had me really pushing. Like, I can't explain it, but I could feel the cracks in the road, and every single one was excruciating pain. And so everything in between, though, wasn't painful. I do remember that. And I was just so mad at the hospital, so angry that as soon as they gave me my baby, I grabbed her up and I walked out of there. I left. And my mom wasn't expecting me to leave. She went back to pick up my oldest daughter from the babysitter, and I walked across the street to the gas station, like a crosswalk. I had to press the button holding my baby, and I walked across the street, and at the gas station, I guess there's still payphones back then, but I used a payphone, and I called my mother and had her come pick me up. So she came and picked me up, and I didn't tell you guys that part, I don't think, that I left the hospital. Whenever I was leaving the room, they said, "You can't leave. You can walk around, but you can't leave." And I said, "Okay." And I left. So there's that. Yeah, because of that, my baby did not get her shots, and she did not get her tests done and stuff. So her first pediatric appointment, we went over that stuff, and I did not want to get her shots right away. I don't know why, but she was so tiny. My first baby girl, the one that Zach was going around telling everybody I was on massive drugs and was a crack baby, she was a plump girl, She had to be born 2 weeks early because she would have destroyed me. And yeah, she was, very healthy, but this one, she wasn't as healthy. But I mean, whenever I was pregnant with my first daughter, my mother was a hardcore vegan. She was dating a vegan man, and he was always cooking up some kind of vegan meal. And we lived right down the street from McDonald's, so I would constantly go get me hamburgers because I just could never get full off of vegan food ever. But I would be eating it constantly, and it was all about health, and I was still taken care of. And whenever I was pregnant with my second daughter, now I have a daughter, I'm trying to get up on my own feet. I barely have any food, and well, we got food stamps, but I mean, I have to feed my daughter, and she takes priority, and I don't know if that's all why she was small, but she was so little, and I just didn't want to get her shots. And so I talked to the doctor about options, about spreading out the shots, so we did that. But and also at this time, I was I was working at the daycare. I worked at the daycare for 2 months. That's it, for her first 2 months of her life. And I started working at the daycare really early, and right after Christmas, and she was an infant, and I was in the toddler room, but my toddler wasn't allowed in the toddler room. She had to be in a different room, and she had friends and stuff in those other rooms, and she would listen to people she would listen to the teacher if I wasn't there. And so, yeah, it's crazy. So I was in a toddler room, but my toddler wasn't allowed in the room with me. And then I wasn't in the infant room, but my infant was allowed in the room with me. And I was breastfeeding too. And I had these breastfeeding ponchos so that I could have her under there, and no toddler would have to be aware at all. So I feel like that saved her life in a lot of ways, because every single infant in that daycare got RSV. All of them got RSV except for mine. She was the only one that did not get RSV. Even the people that I went to nanny with, their son got RSV, and it was really scary. It was really scary. And the babies were in the hospital, and it was like, you know, pandemic. Pandemic. I don't want to say that word because of, I don't know, since 2020, C word, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, it was really crazy. All the babies were in the hospital, all of them, but my baby wasn't. So that was really cool. And whenever I began to work as the nanny, I I had to give their baby breath treatments. So it was really interesting that I had to give him breath treatments. And I mean, a lot of the babies at the time in that area, they went through that, you know? So it's really interesting. And I feel like because I kept my baby close to me, it saved her. I really don't think that it's healthy physically, mentally, or emotionally for a baby to be away from their mother in the first 5, 6 months of life. For sure. I don't think that it's healthy for people to be separated from their mother, their womb space they just came from, like separated so quickly. I just don't think that it's good. I think that it causes trauma. And I don't want to make nobody feel bad, though. I'm not saying that you going back to work as fast as you did caused trauma or anything like that. So I really think for babies to have full optimal health, they need a mother that can be there with them. And maybe not a mother, maybe a nanny is fine, but at least they need that love and the touch and the care. They don't need to be in, I mean, some of these daycares that I've worked in, they're just, you know, and the daycare worker can't give the baby the time and attention that it needs. The babies just are lined up, and you know, they have, it's on a schedule, and it's just, there's no life in being like that. I understand the value of schedules more than anything, but there's just no life. And babies need life to grow, you know? Our society, oh gosh, this is just a whole nother video. But yeah, our society is so life killing. And they use the excuse that that's how it's always been, which is a lie. And it's I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I guess that's all that I wanted to remind about. I just wanted to let y'all know more about that time in my life of my baby being newborn, brand new. It, you know, it was crazy times, and it wasn't necessarily easy times, but I do look back on those days fondly. Like, I was gaining my freedom, y'all. I guess I was coming more into myself. Yeah, that's the other thing that I wanted to talk about. I started going to a church. I was going to a Unitarian church, which was like it's a different church. Like, they would preach Buddha, they would preach Confucianism or whatever, Confucius. But they would preach from different masters, and it was just like a hippie church, and I just loved it so much. My heart just loved it, and I loved that I was raising my kids like that. And my oldest daughter was she just was a hippie child. She hated to have her hair brushed, and she just loved to be carefree. And I don't know. I was very happy going to that church and finding my freedom and healing. Healing. So, thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for putting up with me. And I will continue on with my story next time. But until then, be blessed with love. That's all she got.